Say where the road goes, where the day flows.
It is 5 minutes after 7 o'clock. Good evening to you listening to DBS Radio and viewing as well on our social media platforms. It is the 20th day in the month of January. Of course, it's carnival celebrations in Dominica. I am Ivona John Baptist Luge and I welcome you to Journey to the Throne, a conversation with the contestants of the Miss OECS competition, which is scheduled for this Friday, the 31st day in the month of January. A production spearheaded by the Miss OECS Pageants Committee, and I know a lot of work has been done already to ensure that we have a successful event this year in Dominica. DBS Radio is always keen on bringing to the fore interviews of this nature. We see this as our responsibility. In fact, it is part of our agenda to celebrate culture in all its forms. So that's why we are here this evening to look at the cultural diversity of our Caribbean people. And in 1 hour, we should know more about the contestants for this event. But not just that, we will know about the country as well. I understood from the organizers that the stage is set for the 5 talented women from the Caribbean across the OECS. It is really to compete for the coveted title of Miss OECS 2025. Good evening, lovely ladies. You have certainly brought, some ambience, different vibe to the studios at DBS Radio, a kaleidoscope of beauty somewhat. Good evening, ladies. Hello.
Good evening.
Wow, I really wanted this chorus, resounding. Yes, very good. And it's a pleasure, of course, to welcome you to the studios of DBS Radio. You are in the Felix Henderson studio. Felix Henderson would have done a lot for Dominica and the Caribbean as well in the broadcast milieu, and especially in Creole. So Miss St. Lucia and Miss Dominica, you understand that all too well, what Creole means to us. And I am in the Ted Dilly studio. Ted Dilly would have contributed more than 45 years as a broadcaster at DBS Radio. So we welcome you to these 2 studios as we begin our conversation. We'll begin with contestant number 1 because I want to hear from you as well. Tell us who you are and give us a feel, of course, of why you are involved in this. Take us back to how it all started for you and how you have arrived at this juncture. So, of course, contestant number 1, good evening to you, Miss Antigua.
Good evening. My name is Shania Samuel, and I was born and raised in the beautiful Isle of Antigua and Barbuda. I am a police officer by profession, so I'm a police constable within the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda. I have been involved in pageantry for about maybe 3 going on 4 years. I recently concluded a regional police pageant as well, where myself, along with 4 other young ladies, vied for the crown of the inaugural True Blue Beauty pageant. This is my 5th pageant, I believe. 5th or 4th, one out of the 2. However, my main purpose here in this pageant is similar to my purpose in my recent pageants, which is to promote body positivity and to shed light on inclusive representation. I am the thickest amongst the ladies, and I would have participated in our local pageant, the Queen of Carnival for Antigua and Barbuda, where it all started in breaking barriers to promote body positivity. And my platform remains the same, because even if I can't change it, at least I'd never stopped trying. And it is just a movement closer and closer to eliminating the perception of pageantry and it belonging to just slim ladies, poise. It's more to pageantry than we actually think or we actually believe, and that is what I'm here to represent.
So you would have seen a noted change in terms of body positivity from since, of course, you embarked on this platform.
Oh, I have actually. And back home in Antigua and Barbuda, there are actually a few young ladies who are of the same body mass as myself who are actually going to apply for the local Queen show. It's not something that usually happens, and I wish them all the best. I gave them the outlet, so I only hope that they continue to shed light on body positivity and to show that thick madams can do it, are doing it, and will continue to do it.
All right, I love this. So welcome again, because I suspect I'll get a lot from you, from the others as well, but I look forward, of course, to the conversation. Contestant number 2 would be Miss Dominica.
Yes.
Help us create that nexus.
Good evening, everyone, the listeners and those in studio. I am contestant number 2, Kiana Dyer, representing the Nature Isle, the land of 365 rivers, and the hosting country for the Miss OECS pageant, Dominica. Through my pageant journey, those of you who have followed and those listening abroad, I would have coveted this title last year, February 8th. And I would have competed against 5 other young ladies, and I'm a winner. And for this, it is my national duty to participate and represent the country in the Miss OECS pageant. Through this pageant journey, I just plan on not only forming bonds and creating memories, but even on stage, further promote my platform as for the national pageant, Youth in Culture through the Arts, and to continue the OECS integration. As we know, pageants like these give young ladies a platform, a royal platform, if I may call it so, to just share what they have to offer and share what their country has to offer by extension.
Okay, all right. So we'll come back to you, obviously. Let us go now to Miss St. Lucia, contestant number 3.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Tamikwa Burshan-Litova, and I am proudly representing the country St. Lucia at the Miss OECS pageant for 2025. My pageant journey began a few years ago. I have participated in 3 pageants. The first one I did was Miss Mabwe Valley, and I was successful at this pageant. I was a queen. I also participated in Miss Independence. I was the first runner-up, and I also did National Carnival Queen as Miss Hot 7 TV, and I was also the first runner-up.
Miss what? Miss what?
Miss Hot 7 TV at the time. That's what I was.
Okay,
Yes, I represented Hot 7 TV, and I was the first runner-up. I have been extremely thankful for my pageant journey because it has transformed me. For example, I can even use this theme, the theme for the pageant, which is Elysian Elegance and Empowerment. And I believe pageants like these are very, very, very important. And through my journey, participating in this pageant, I'm here to share my culture with everybody. I have never left St. Lucia and visited the Caribbean islands before, and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. And I'm also looking forward to learning the culture of my other contestants, the countries, because I really need to know. I want to visit Montserrat. I would like to go to St. Vincent. I'm in Dominica already, so I'm expecting Miss Dominica to take me around, right? All right, and I'm just looking forward to creating some amazing memories with my pageant sisters. I mean, as much as we know it's a competition, we also have to build bonds as pageant sisters, and we all are queens.
I like this.
Thank you.
So let's go to number 4. Tell us who you are, and I'm sure pageantry as well. It's familiar territory for you. Contestant number 4.
Good night, everyone and listening audience. My name is Marisa Bazi. I am 19 years old, and I am representing the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, Aliogana herself, Montserrat. I must say that my pageant journey has started a month ago because I was crowned Miss Montserrat on December 28, 2024. After not having a pageant in 3 years, I must say that our last pageant was one to witness, especially because it was 6 lovely beauties showing Montserrat to its best ability and showing that, yes, pageantry is far more than what it is perceived to be. And I never really usually considered myself as a pageant girl, but when I actually got into the arena, it has really evolved me as a person. I became more confident. I became more passionate about many things. And I just like to continue this journey and also continue to grow as an individual, as well as create lovely bonds with my fellow sisters, to which I've loved so dearly, especially here in Dominica, which is my first time. Thank you.
Hey, and the contestant number 5.
Good evening to everyone hearing my voice. I am Leisha Beach and I represent the gem of the Antilles, Haruna, and the land of 32 islands and the Keys, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, my pageant journey started last year actually, where I competed in our local Miss SVG pageant, where I was Miss JCI St. Vincent and I claimed the title of first runner-up. And me being in pageantry is me looking for a platform to further advocate for young persons to take up space. Because I believe as young persons we do have a voice, and it's time for us to start taking up space, as I said. And it's also a platform for me to continue my reach. I am now local president for JCI St. Vincent, and I just find we as young persons, as young women, need more platforms to advocate for things such as self-confidence, as Miss Antigua would have said, things like things like that. So that's why I would have got into pageantry. It's also something that helped me personally with my self-confidence and my outwardly speech as well.
All right, interesting. So I'm going to learn a lot about you all, obviously. 5 competitors, 5 contestants, but we have 6 of you here. So here's why we have 6. That's because we have the reigning Miss OECS with us as well.
Yes, we do.
And you've been there, you have done that. So your question will be somewhat different. Tell us about your reign thus far, though, as you get ready to give up that title.
My reign has been interesting, honestly. I think at the beginning of my reign, I wanted to make sure that I inspire young women. I wanted to make sure that I encourage them to join in pageantry, and I also wanted to advocate for dancers in the Caribbean. And during my reign, I made sure that I did all of that. So I helped 5 young women in their pageant journey in St. Lucia, and I am honored to be here with these 5 contestants to help them through their pageant journey. They just met, and I just met them as well. And I think it's important that we encourage women to participate in events like this because it promotes cultural cohesion, it helps us build our confidence, and it also just gives you a platform to express your purpose, express your passions. And the Miss OECS pageant did that for me, and I'm excited for it to do that for them as well, especially the incoming queen. So I know these women have vision, they're innovative, they're excited, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the stage on Friday.
And look at you, how you have taken on the role of an advisor. And you're empowering your sisters, and that's very good. So that's one of the benefits of participating in a pageant of that magnitude. And wearing the title, wearing the crown, and you can lift the crown of the others up.
Yes.
And that's good. That's good. So I really
fix each
welcome
other's
this.
crown.
Yes, that's it. Without letting another person know or the rest of the world know that it was crooked or any of that.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, so let's move on. A very interesting theme for the pageant this year, illusion, elegance, and empowerment. It tells me so much, but I want you to explain to me what it means to you. So I know it captures the vibrancy of Caribbean people, Caribbean women in particular. But for you in particular, what does that theme signify? What does that really mean to you when you hear this as a Caribbean woman? And let us start, of course, in the order that you will appear on stage. So we can go to contestant number 1. What does that mean, that theme this year mean to you?
This theme is just a continuation of what is already happening. We are living in an age now where women are taking up space, where we are advancing, where we're not seen as the little one or the minute one. However, we still need to work together as women, and that is where the empowerment ties in, because pageantry, as we all stated before, it is not just about the poise and the elegance. It actually affords for a lot of self-growth, and through self-growth we are able to empower each other, which is the epitome of the theme, which is illusion, elegance, and empowerment. Because we're beautiful young ladies, we're all elegant and beautiful in our own right, and by just being here in this pageant, we are empowering each other to step out of our comfort zones, to take a stance, and to just promote our individual platforms as well. So that's my take on the theme for this year's
Right.
pageant.
Miss Dominica, what does that theme mean to you?
Illusion, elegance, and empowerment. For me, I see it as a theme that a role model should live by. Because Elysian stands for, when you think of Elysian, you think of things like blissful, heavenly, and elegance is how you go about your demeanor, your deportment. And empowerment is coming from within, pushing yourself to reach that goal. And if you believe that as an individual, as a young lady who has come from trying times to, as Miss Antigua said, taking up space, you need to be empowered. You need to be empowered enough to take that leap. You need to be elegant enough that people see you and they realize that's someone I would want to look up to. And you live the rest of your days in illusion by just doing it with grace, doing it with style, like we would say. And that's what I feel the theme means to me. Just being a lifelong characteristic that you should hold with you.
Well, what about you, Miss St. Lucia? Does this theme align with Caribbean women, and why?
It does. I believe the theme, Illusion, Elegance, and the Empowerment, actually, it encapsulates the essence of the Miss OECS pageant. And I see this theme as a reminder that true elegance comes from us embracing our authentic selves while using our voices and actions to create a positive impact on others in our community and the OECS region on a whole. Because, the OECS, it fosters unity and basically just to be a positive figure out there for you, just not just young women, but for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Miss Montserrat, tell us, what does that theme mean to you?
Just adding to what my sisters have said, I do believe that this theme really shows unity in its fullest capacity. And with this us standing here, it just shows not only our worth self-wise, but how stronger we are together as women. And with something like that, you could even inspire our young girls to show that, yes, we might be different, we might have all our different personalities, but together we can make a bigger change, we can have a voice, and we can stand out more together as women. So that's my take on the topic.
What about you, Miss St. Lucia?
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, my apologies. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What about you? How do you take this theme?
Well, I agree with my pageant sisters, not to be redundant, but I think it's basically about showing our resilience as Caribbean women and ensuring that we do take up space and we do stand for front, and we do it with grace and we do it with elegance, and we basically show persons that women have brains, women have ideas, we also have the ability to take up space in any room we stand in.
Absolutely.
Okay, I love this. Miss reigning OECS, I want to bring you into this as well, because as I was saying from the onset, this is a very interesting theme this year. You may not remember what theme you had, or do you remember what theme you had last year?
Do I remember my theme?
You may not,
I actually don't
right.
remember
But let
my
us look
theme.
at the theme this year, because as I was saying, it captures a lot about who we are as Caribbean people. Of course, a specific focus there on women. But in terms of you, how would you describe that theme?
I've always thought that women are forced to be reckoned with, and this theme kind of encapsulates all that we're about: elegance, illusion, empowerment. And I think being empowered is not just being empowered within yourself, but being able to empower the people around you, being able to inspire the people around you. And I think I've done that as the queen, and these contestants have done that already as they've been here. And I believe that theme is very fitting for the girls that I've met. So yeah, I think this theme kind of encapsulates everything that they are, everything that Caribbean women are, and that's what it's supposed to do.
And if you're just tuning in, let me welcome you. We are speaking with the lovely contestants for the Miss OECS Pageant 2025. Always a pleasure to welcome royalty into Dominica. We are very hospitable people. Sometime on the program, I'll ask you about this, if you have felt this energy in Dominica. But I also want to bring on one of the committee members who has an integral role to play in all of this, in the success so far of that event. And Firelander is working closely, I know, with the committee. A lot of people behind this, Romualda Hyacinth, Marita Hyacinth, and so many other people. And it's always good when you have a cadre of people that are committed to the cause. So Firelander, let me say good evening.
Yes, want to say good evening to the listeners of DBS Radio, and of course, beautiful to the beautiful 6 young ladies who are here, reigning Miss OECS, and our fantastic 5, fabulous 5, who are vying for the coveted title of Miss OECS 2025. And just jumping off the topic that we were just on, the theme for 2025, and it's so fitting hearing the stories from each of the contestants. We're hearing from Miss OECS reigning that she has gone back to her country and has been empowering other young ladies, and this is what pageantry is really and truly about. We heard from Miss Antigua, contestant number 1, how she's trying to break the barriers of body positivity and trying to really bring into us this idea that you don't have to look one particular way to be elegant, you don't have to look one particular way to be a queen, and we are happy to be a part of this. And Elysian, I know many persons have seen the theme and been, okay, what does that mean? Have you did we misspell this?
Yes.
And no, we did not. Elysian is actually a word that means divine inspiration, or heavenly, actually. And it really evokes a sense of that divine inspiration, excellence. Reminds us that this platform is a celebration of an ideal, a beauty that transcends the physical, that is rooted in the authenticity, the resilience, and the cultural pride that the young ladies on Friday will be bringing out. 5 beautiful young ladies. They've introduced themselves to you. The pageant the stage is set. We're ready and looking forward to them coming out in the 6 appearances that they have.
All right, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm enjoying it thus far, Fire. I can tell you that, because from the onset I told them that we're not going to have an interview. We're just going to have a nice casual, conversation, and that is exactly what we are having. So let us continue. I want you to, at this point, promote your country. Free of charge. I mean, airtime is what we sell on DBS Radio, but we're going to give that to you free. How does your country set how do I put this? Let me just rephrase this. What is it about your country that sets you apart from the other countries? Contestant number 1. Or maybe next time I'll reverse the order. Yeah, it sounds mundane. But let us. What about your country that sets it apart from the other countries? And Miss Antigua, boast about your country, my girl.
Yes. We are the island of 365 shimmering beaches, crystal clear waters, and just an aura of good vibes, good food, and great hospitality. Now, Antigua would have taken up the mantle of purchasing Liat 2020, and I want to put that out there because a lot of persons were skeptical about that, but we maintained our vision in increasing regional integration and allowing for a continuous, affordable way to travel to our sister isles. So now I don't have to worry about how I'm going to get to St. Lucia, how I'm going to get to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I'm already here in Dominica, and well, Montserrat is right next door. But that is what really sets us apart from the other Caribbean countries, where we saw the importance of maintaining an airline that had so much importance, especially in the free movement of our Caribbean brothers and sisters. And I just want to say thank you to Liat 2020 because they were actually my sponsors for our National Queen Show.
Nice.
And they have taken me up under their wings. They are very supportive. They're probably listening right now. That is how supportive they are. And I just want to thank them greatly for all that they have done, all that they continue to do. And also, what else can I say about my country? First of all, we're the first 2 letters of the alphabet. That's A and B.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm first in the pageant, in the, what do you call it?
The lineup.
In the lineup, yes. So that's a lot of firsts, you know. That is a lot of firsts. You know what I'm hinting to?
And that's good.
Yes, but Antigua and Barbuda is the destination where you can come, you can relax, you are guaranteed an absolute fantastic time in my country. You ladies need to come and visit. My home is always open.
Taking up the offer.
Oh yes. Oh, and Barbuda. We oftentimes, I'm sorry,
Forget.
we don't shed enough light on Barbuda, but Barbuda is an absolute gem. If you've never seen pink sand before, you should definitely go to Barbuda. It's literally pink. For those who do not believe, and if you want to see it in real life, just come to Antigua and Barbuda.
All right, I like this. I like the fact as well that you brought out that cultural cohesion that we spoke about earlier, and you made reference, of course, to LIAT helping, fostering intra-regional travel. So I really love this. Dominica, girl, let's go.
That's a lot of
Let's
pressure.
go, Dominica. Help promote
That's
your
a lot of
country.
pressure.
No pressure, Dominica.
No pressure.
Mhm.
So, just like Barbuda, but similar to Barbuda, I should say, we are a land of 365 rivers. We have one for every day of the year. And yes, we literally have one river, not a stream, not a tributary, one river for every day of the year. If I had to promote my country, I would choose to promote firstly culture, because anybody who has followed me that knows that culture is dear to my heart. And one thing that is unique about our culture here is that it's not seasonal. I think we have pushed through enough to realize that our culture doesn't just come around our independence time. Our culture is infused in our carnival. Our culture is infused in our summertime, our ordinary time, our Christmas. We have cultural activities going on. And with that, you get a taste, as we have our bouillon music. You get a bouillon of our culture year round. I feel to our little horn, our bouillon music is coming, it's rising. As a matter of fact, it's there. It's there coming out, and we have what we know as our nasty business and what we know as our old school bouillon, and honestly just caters to everybody. Those that have gone, those who are coming. So everybody gets a taste, you choose what you like and you stick to it. We also start to promote our wellness, because as you know, we have a lot of trees and we have a lot of waterfalls. With this, you can come and sit on a rock and just, let me give you the move. Just breathe in the fresh air that we have to offer. Breathe in our aesthetic that we are giving off. You know, we have different the Trafalgar Falls, we have Jacko Falls, which also keeps our heritage and our history near to us, because we know that our ancestors roamed here freely and we are a very mountainous island. And with our Jacko Falls, they experienced that, and we also kept that and preserved that. So now those who have gone can experience it, and those who are coming can also experience it. What else can we say about Dominica? Dominica has good vibe. We may not have nightlife like you feel, but in the day you experience the vibe. Our people are a vibe, and I think my other contestants can attest to that. Our people are a vibe. I've been holding down that fort, and I've been trying to give off the best hospitality skills that I have. And if I do so myself, I've not disappointed. So Dominica, a land of 365 rivers, a land of culture, a land of wellness, a land of tourism.
Wow, you said that with a passion when you're selling your country, the nature island of the Caribbean.
Yes.
By the way, Antigua, Miss Antigua.
Yes.
That word Wadadli, is it popular still in Antigua?
It-
That was originally called
it
Wadadli.
is.
It is still
It is.
popular.
It is.
Okay, all right.
We do have the beer too as well.
Okay, all right. Miss St. Lucia, tell us about your country, the Helen of the West, our sister isle as well.
The Helen of the West, 7 times British, 7 times French. I would like to begin by saying the number one honeymoon destination in the Caribbean. I like to brag about that. We have won this title 16 times. And we also have our drive-in volcano where you get to experience the mud bath and just relax and enjoy the sweet Helen of the West. It is also where the fastest woman in the world was born and raised, the amazing Julian Alfred. Right, St. Lucia is amazing. We have our lovely beaches where everybody get to enjoy the nightlife in St. Lucia. The nightlife in St. Lucia is one to look forward to. We have our Grozy Day Friday night. It is never, I'd like to say, a boring night in the Caribbean in St. Lucia. All right, and there is so much I could tell you, but I would love it for my sisters right here to visit St. Lucia. And when you experience it, you would definitely understand where I am coming from. And with that being said, I'd like to say good evening, a special good evening to the St. Lucians on the live locked in. Thank you so much.
So
for
St.
the
Lucia is a
support.
whole vibe by
A whole
itself.
vibe, a whole vibe. When you have St. Lucia, you have everything in your bag. Yeah.
The Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, Montserrat. Tell us about this lovely, lovely island.
If I do say so myself, I must say that Montserrat is indeed nature's little secret, where even though outside of our unfortunate catastrophic experiences with our volcano, I must say that we still do have people living in Montserrat, and that just shows the resilience of our people, that no matter how hard it gets, we still come together and we still fight and we still work through as a community. And one thing about Montserrat is so holistic, especially when it comes to wellness. It's such a quiet place with absolutely beautiful scenery where you could just go and relax by the shores or even take a hike in our many, many hills, many hikes. They're out.
Heavy on the hill.
Exactly like Miss Antigua said, heavy on the hills. But it's just an overall experience that you just have to see it for yourself. Like, Montserrat isn't as lively during the night, but our people know how to have fun and know how to keep you on your toes and feeling welcome, feel at home. So I must say to my fellow pageant sisters, please do, if you have not come to Montserrat, please just hop on that little flight from Antigua and just...
That's good. All right, so let us now go to the big event, the grand event that you have been preparing for a while now.
So we're actually missing one more person.
My apologies, and don't take this person. No, that's not personal. Eh? That's not personal. Yeah, St. Vincent. How could I forget you?
Oh, that's what I want to know.
We have
about
a
the
close
gem of the
affiliation with
Antilles.
St. Vincent as well, you know. We in Dominica. Boast about your country, my girl. Go ahead.
Well,
Tell us
first
about
and
your country.
foremost, big up my Vinci Massive listening on it live. You know, as they say, Vince to the bone. You know, Vincentians are some of the most resilient people I've ever met. We've had our volcano erupt right after COVID. Then we had Beryl destroying a lot of our Grenadine islands. And yet, you know, Vinci people, we still party and we still living our best life because Vincentians do understand that you live once. You can't, you know, the things that affect you, you can't just live in the dump. You have to uplift yourself and uplift others. And Vincentians are based on community. You know, I could go back to Hurricane Beryl. When Union Island was affected and other Grenadine islands were affected, Vincentians from mainland, we went down, we sent help down, we went down to help them, and that just shows resilience, the community hood. Also, the gem of the Antilles. Come on. And even St. Vincent itself is extremely beautiful. There's a lot of hidden waterfalls that we have. There's a lot of hidden rivers, a lot of hidden attractions that our locals do enjoy, also our tourists. We also have one of the oldest botanical gardens in the Western Hemisphere. And I mean, if you get tired of St. Vincent itself, which I don't see you getting tired, there's also the 32 islands and keys, which I can't even start. Some of the bluest waters.
I beg to differ.
So what is in there? They beg to differ?
And I mean, each island is uniquely beautiful. Each island has its own unique history. Each island has its own unique heritage, which I think person should come. I mean, you're not going to get through all of them. Not all are inhabited, but I mean, just to look at it, it's amazing. And as I say, we've seen people don't back down from nobody. If you know, you know.
I can attest to that. I have a sergeant who's actually Vincentian, and when she said the part where she spoke about being a community, I just had to nod my head because that is my sergeant right there. So big up Vincy people.
And I mean, we have one of the strongest rums. Big up Sunset.
I think that's where I will say I beg to differ.
80-something%.
Yeah,
It
Dominica
doesn't
comes
matter.
in.
But
I'm not getting in that argument.
St. Vincent is so beautiful on its own. The people, you walk through Kingstown, you see the vibrancy of the people. We were known as the city of arches because of the arch in the as you walk through town. A lot of them are still there. The cobblestone structures that are still very unique.
That's good.
We have a lot of sugar mills that are still up. And I mean, Vincentians, if it's one thing, you cannot tell a Vincentian anything about their country because they would come at you. And that is where I would leave it. I would just invite my patron sisters to come and witness the rest for them.
I think that's Caribbean people in general. You
general,
cannot
yes.
come for Caribbean people.
Don't do
Not
it.
saying the show.
It's interesting though, Miss Envins, that you mentioned the cobblestone, because I know we too in Dominica, for the greater part, we are sort of big on architectural, preservation and all of that, historical preservation, and so you see our similarities as Caribbean people.
Yes. Like
Yes.
the school bus
Yes.
we saw today, it was said that there was a major hurricane and a tree fell under the school bus,
Yeah.
and that bus is still in the same position where the tree fell. And I thought that was very unique and
Thank you.
way to go to keep history alive.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's go to another question, because I want to look at your preparations for the event, and I want to get a sense somewhat of how are you preparing for this? What round in particular are you looking forward to the most? And what round you feel that will bring you more butterflies, if any, on the night, on Friday night, that grand competition? Okay, so I said the last time we're going to reverse the order, so we could start with contestant number 5 and then we'll come down to contestant number 1. Does that work for you all, or do you want us to go back to contestant number 1?
That's okay. I can give Shania a break.
All right. That's good. Sisters.
Well, no. My preparation, it really didn't take a pause. My pageant was in October, so I'm still fresh off the pageant stage. So a lot of it was basically refining and tweaking. And maybe there were things that I wanted to change from show night. I have a second chance. And it's basically also now showcasing my country and myself on a bigger stage, a bigger platform, and enhancing and showing the unity that the OECS does have. For show night, I'm most anticipating. Well, I most want to see the promotional videos because I've heard a lot about a lot of the islands. I've been to most of them, but I want to see what these beautiful young ladies would have highlighted and in their countries, because they would know it better than anyone. And on show night, I'm most anticipating maybe swimwear. Maybe somewhere or evening wear, because I feel like those two has a lot of personality outside of talent, and I'm waiting to see what flair each of us bring. Oh, what am I most? But more butterflies? Interview, probably. I feel like that's a collective interview usually, because it's unexpected. You don't know what you're going to get in interview. Talent, you know your talent. Evening wear, you know your dress, you know how to walk. Somewhere, same thing. I think interview is just the one that you don't know what you're going to get, and that would give you a bit of butterflies.
All right. So we go now to the next contestant in the order that we are going now, in reference to that question.
I must say that just like Miss SVG, my pageant journey is still ongoing. Like I said, I just recently got crowned Miss Montserrat, so there wasn't no break period for me. It was just off the stage, back on the stage again, just to prepare for the Miss OECS pageant. And I do believe like things like this actually do show unity on a whole different level and on a whole different scale, especially for me as well, because this pushes me as a person, as well as an ambassador for Montserrat, to put my island out there and showcase what the Emerald Isle has to offer, you know what I mean? But in terms of show night, I must say that I am quite looking forward to the modeling segment, swimwear, and evening wear, because I just like dressing up. That's just me. Yes. And I just want to just have fun. That's just what I see pageantry is. Like, yes, there's your serious parts, but there's also time for you to relax and have fun and just enjoy yourself. I must say, for butterflies, I would say interview, But I feel like once you get it out the way, you could just relax.
One and done.
Exactly. So that's my take.
Okay. So contestant number 3, it doesn't matter what order we go, you'll still remain contestant number 3.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
Yeah.
correct.
So how do you answer this question?
The segment that I'm actually looking forward to the most is the talent segment, and it's gonna be very, very emotional and heartfelt. I will try not to go too much into it, but I am looking forward to this talent segment, and this is what it's really what's motivating me right now to go full force and to do my best in this
Wow.
pageant. For butterflies, I would say interview for sure. I would agree. With my pageant sisters, because you really don't know what's coming for sure. It's a big surprise. It's a big gift that I'm waiting to collect. All right, but that's basically it for me. Thank you.
All right. Dominica?
My preparations for the pageant was very, very short, very slim, for reasons. And but we push through. We'll continue to be resilient. As you know, that's the main word for our country, resilient. So if our country needs to be resilient, the people also need to help in that resilience and also be resilient. What do I look forward to the most? I know people are expecting me to say talent, but it's not. It's actually the ambassadorial way, where we get to showcase something about our country and ourselves whilst giving a promotional speech. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. And what gives me butterflies? Maybe the talent. So
Maybe
that says a lot. Maybe the talent gives me butterflies the most. I'll go with that.
I guess we'll understand on the night when we see your talents why you answered that question that way. So we'll understand. We'll leave it for there.
Yes.
It's all right. Okay, so contestant number 1.
Yay, me now. Based off my profession, obviously my preparations are a little different from everyone else's, mainly because of my responsibilities as a police officer, my duties, and preparation for me is something that is sometimes difficult because of the lot of things I have to sacrifice. But what good of a police officer am I if I don't know how to do that? If I don't know how to juggle preparations and my work life. So I believe that my preparations have been fruitful. I am also fresh out of a recent pageant in October, so I'm not that rusty. But the segments, because I have 2, that I'm looking forward to are talent, because for me it's keeping culture alive where talent is concerned, and I can't wait for you guys to see just how talented this thick madame can be. And also I'm looking forward to swimwear, mainly because I'm thick, so a lot of people might underestimate me, but I am actually a force to be reckoned with.
Tell them, girl.
So stay tuned.
That's right.
And as the first, now last but not least, I'm inviting each and every one of our listening audiences on Friday 31st, 8 p.m. at the Windsor Park Stadium to come on out and support myself and these beautiful young ladies who are going to be vying for the title of Miss OECS. And I know it's going to be a fun-packed show. Talented young ladies, so you know it's going to be a show packed with excitement as well. And I'm encouraging each and every one of you, not because you're not from one of the Caribbean islands or one of my sister isles. It doesn't mean that you cannot support us. So when you're coming out, make sure you have, a supporting heart. Yes, you love St. Lucia. Yes, you love Dominica. Yes, you love Antigua. But we're all in this together, which is what we're promoting. So we should be, encouraging each young lady and supporting each young lady.
Really, Miss OECS, let me just ask you quickly, go back to your time just ahead of the competition. And if I were to ask you what round were you really looking forward to and what round would give you butterflies? Can you remember?
I can agree with them. My favorite segment was definitely swimwear and butterflies interview. Yeah. I would agree. I think everybody can agree. Interview is very unexpected. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if your brain is going to work at the same speed your mouth is going to work. So it's just like, okay, let me just be prepared. Butterflies, absolute butterflies. But swimwear, you get to show off your sassiness, your beauty,
Your curves.
right. But yeah, and this year I don't know what I'm looking forward to. I'm just excited to see them on stage. I'm excited to see what they bring to the stage. I'm actually excited to explore their culture on stage, see how it transcends from the audience, because I'm always the one on stage. So I want to be on the other end, the receiving end now, and see what it transcends like to the audience. So yeah.
All right. For Yolanda to put something like this together takes a lot when you look at the logistics and all of that.
Definitely.
Just a matter of what? Today's Tuesday already, the show is on Friday.
Yes.
Where are we? Is all systems go, or do you still have a lot to take care of, or are there a lot of people as well, apart from the committee members, helping towards the success of that event?
I mean, we must say that with any show that you put on, any pageant you put on, there's a lot of back work. And it's at this time, I just want to take this opportunity to highlight our very hardworking committee. At the helm, we have our pageant director, Mrs. Romualda Hyacinth, and the other members of the team, Steve Hyacinth, Deborah Coffey, Giselle Hyacinth, Kushna Telemark Rabes, Nawana Shillingford, Marita Hyacinth, Jason John, Michael Debon, as well as myself. And we are really working towards, and have been working months before this show, just to ensure that we are putting on a show of class, a show of high standard for the Dominican and OECS public, understanding, recognizing that we have persons representing 5 of the 11 member states of OECS, and we are excited to have each of the young ladies here. We are excited to have them on board, celebrating the whole idea and really meshing with the entire mission statement of the OECS, which is to drive and support sustainable development through regional integration, collective action, and development cooperation, which really and truly embodies who we are as the OECS committee. But just wanted to also, as the young ladies were talking about the various pageant segments, what they're looking forward to, we are happy to announce that starting tomorrow, the first judge segment, which is a pre-judge segment, the promotional videos will be released tomorrow. So you're hearing it here first, that tomorrow, tune into all of our social media, that the promotional videos for the 5 lovely young ladies will be released tomorrow, and you will get an initial taste of each of the contestants as they vie for Miss OECS 2025. On Friday, the 31st of January, we have 5 segments, and as you heard, the young ladies are a bit nervous, a bit shaky about one particular round, and we've listened. We've heard that is always an issue with any pageant. Question and answer, which typically in most pageants is the last segment, we've brought it up a bit. So after the opening round, where we will have the creative national wear and promotional speech, we'll have the question and answer round before the performing talent, followed by the swimwear, and culminating the night in the evening wear. And hopefully by 12 midnight, as our production team has told us, we will be crowning a brand spanking new Miss OECS 2025. And as you're looking on the screen, you will see one of these young ladies in the room here will in fact be Miss OECS 2025. But one time before I hand back over to you, Ivona, I just want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors, because without them, this pageant would not be possible. So I want to say thank you to Big Edge Financial, the National Bank of Dominica, OECS Pearl Dominica, Rapid Response Recovery Services, OptiShop Dominica, My Other Wife, the Dominica Festivals Committee, the Cultural Division of Dominica, Mugenesis Enterprises, Fine Foods Inc., And coming on board most recently, we want to say thank you so much to Flo, and they are supporting us. They are present in Dominica, physically supporting the pageant this year, and we are happy to have them on board the OECS Commission. So we are happy to have all our sponsors on board, but there can never be too many sponsors for a show, so we are still open and welcoming anyone who wants to come on board to support the Miss OECS pageant, celebrate the Elysian elegance and empowerment for 2025.
Okay, well said. Let me ask you ladies though, because before we end, I want to find out, I think Miss Antigua would have touched on it a little, and she was looking at how she manages her time, because she's a police officer, right? Okay, how she manages her time. So I want to find out from you, the others, how do you manage this overlap between your private life and preparations for these pageants? How does it work? How do you juggle your time and make this work for you?
I guess I start as contestant number 2. Pageantry is your life. For me, personally, there is no personal time. A lot of sacrifices have to be made, and it's a bit heavier for me now that it's our carnival season. So sacrifices need to be made, and time schedules need to be kept, whereas work is our mandatory priority. Everything after that is pageantry. Sleep is an option at this point, because we have a goal to meet, we have a goal to reach, and we want to be there.
But while it is an option, it's also very important.
Very important, but second priority. If we are being honest, it's not our first. So sacrifice for me has been major, and keeping to schedule, doing it whilst tired is a must. Getting sleep is a must, but I'm willing to sacrifice that as well.
Okay. Who next to give me that that answer that I seek in terms of how you manage this overlap between your private life and preparing for the pageant?
Working within the hospitality and industry and balancing the pageant was not an easy task, I'll be honest with you. However, thankfully, the company that I work with, Sandals, good evening to all the Sandals staff watching. Thankfully, the company gave me that time to get ready for this pageant, and I am so grateful. I am so thankful. So I have been able to manage my rehearsals, whether it's my talent rehearsals, summer rehearsals, anything to do with the pageant. I have been able to manage that, and I am, once again, I am extremely grateful for them. Thank you. That's about it for me.
Okay. Number 4 now? Yeah.
I can agree with Kiana. Once you decide that you're going into pageantry, you have no personal life. I had to learn that the hard way, especially since this is my first actual pageant experience. And like I was talking to Claire the other day, they just dropped me down in the deep end. But yeah, it's just how you work yourself mentally, and this is why you need to have a steady support system, a group of people who keep you afloat and ensure that you are well. Because mentally, if you're not there, I've had moments where I feel like I can't do this anymore. I feel lost. You just need that set of people, and I'm grateful for my team and my chaperones who have created that space for me to ensure that, yes, it's going to be hard. You are going to cry sometimes, but it will be all worth it in the end, and you have us. So I must always say, and I will always encourage those of you who are interested in taking up pageantry to ensure that your system is together, that you put your mental health first, and all will be well.
All right. Miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines, does your social life suffer? How do you manage your time with all of this?
Well, once again, not to seem redundant, but it's a lot of time management, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of saying, well, hey, I can't do this right now. I had to train, I had to practice. My chaperone is calling me, I had to go. And it's like having understanding work, having understanding friends, having understanding family members that know that you have to do this and you have to put in the work, and you're not going to always be available for fun time. Fun time would come after work hard, play later.
That's right.
I mean, your sleep is important, and I always want to sleep. But if you have work in the morning, you only have training from 5 o'clock till whenever your body shut down or whenever y'all choose to leave. But one thing I would have realized, as I would have said, my pageant recently concluded, is you have to give yourself grace sometimes. We're not machines, and while we do have to push and push and push, sometimes you have to know your body's limit and put your mental health first, as was said, and having a good support system is extremely needed because it gets hard, and it's not all glitz and glamour as persons would think. It has a lot of heavy that comes on with it, and I just feel that's basically it. You just have to understand that there's no free time. A free time is training time. There's no fun time unless it's needed for your for your crown. And I mean, that's basically it.
All right. Now, before, of course, we end, we have to find out about tickets and all of that. And we have to find out from Antigua as well. Well, Antigua really set the pace for this question, you know. She really set the pace for this question. Because at the time she was giving her response to the question prior, she was talking about time management and how she, manages that overlap that comes, with an activity like that. But Antigua, you want to add to it, to what you would have said already?
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
And just to interject or to just piggyback on what Montserrat said, it is a mental battle when preparing for pageantry, and if it is something that you know to yourself you would not be able to handle, as much as we promote empowerment, as much as we try to encourage young ladies to follow their dreams, follow their hearts, trust me, it's a mental battle, and if you're not prepared to take on that mental role, it's not for you.
You have to remember your why.
Yes,
always
you have to
remember
remember
your
your
why.
why. And where my profession is concerned, I had to be mentally strong by just being a woman in the force. And because of that training, because of having to stamp my name, stamp my ground, and assert myself, I was able to manage preparations for pageantry, where, as we all said, there are a lot of sacrifices, a lot of social sacrifices, a lot of personal sacrifices, a lot of financial sacrifices that we may or may not have been prepared for. And there's a saying that goes, if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail.
Yeah.
And I know that my fellow pageant sisters have been putting in the work. We all understand the sacrifices that we have to make, that we have made, and the sleeps we're going to have to give up. I mean, sleep is important, but when you're hungry for something, you have to do what it takes. And I just want to encourage not only my pageant sisters, and not only women, because I'm gender neutral. I support men and women. It does not go for just women, but we all have to empower each other. We all have to lean on each other and make sure that we're all mentally there. Apart from our support systems being our country, our leaders, or our chaperones, we have to support each other. We have to be mentally there for each other. Where we see one fall, we pick them up. Where we can help, we do. And that in itself is a part of the preparation. And we also have the beautiful Claire Marissa I almost forgot your name. Claire Marissa Smart, who, with the experience from the previous pageant, is also here to educate us, to empower us, to enlighten us, and to help with our preparations as well. And it's always good to have the company of the previously reigning queen to help with our preparations, and I'm super thankful for that.
I'll come back to you all for the first to, end this discussion, a wrap. But let me just find out about ticket sales. How is it going? Where can people get tickets? What's happening in Firelander? Bring us up to date.
Yes, thank you so much, Ivona. So the Miss OECS pageant, as has been stated, is on and ready to go. The fantastic, the fabulous five, they are ready. They are all committed to the cause, and the stage is set for this Friday, January 31st, 2025, starting bang on time, 8 p.m. at the Carnival City. Tickets cost $50 for standing, $80 for seating, and $120 for VIP. The contestants are all ready to put on this spectacular show. Tickets are available at Bullseye Pharmacy. And those of you who are wondering, if I'm not in Dominica, I want to see the show, of course, we will have live streaming available through DBS Radio and, of course, Vibian TV. So you can follow through our social media platforms and get yourself to see this Elysian elegance and empowerment.
All right. So, ladies, as we end, let me just ask you, by the way, any of you visiting for the very first time? Everybody, no?
Yes.
Well, not everybody,
Yes.
obviously.
It's my first time in Dominica.
Okay, so Miss, who is saying this?
Saint Lucia.
Miss St. Lucia, who again?
Montserrat.
And Montserrat.
Okay. Okay, so the others would have come to, obviously, Antigua. So both Antigua. So you all, okay, all right. Well, that's nice. So we welcome you visiting for your first time. So as we end though, let me ask you, what have you done since you have been here in Dominica? What have you enjoyed really? What stays in your mind even on this night, Tuesday night, about Dominica? You'll have more to enjoy, of course, before and after the event. But what is up there for you for Dominica?
Indeed, Dominica is a beautiful place, and it's amazing how when I wake up in the morning and I just look at the view from the place that we were staying, it makes me feel like home. The landscape, I feel like I'm in St. Lucia. When we go to the town, I feel like I'm in Castries in St. Lucia. I would turn to Claire and I would say, Claire, but this looks like... So it does say that as much as our cultures are different, we have a lot that's similar. And I am so grateful and happy to experience that. And like I said, Miss Dominica, I'm holding this up to you. You need to take me around again.
Yes, I will work on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
That.
I'm even planning on maybe extending.
That's fine. That's fine.
All right, but it does feel like woman. Once again, I am extremely happy. I'm extremely grateful that I have a life. Thank you to the Heavenly Father that I am able to experience that. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go to the next contestant with that same question.
I would have to say the hospitality of the people. It is very similar to back home, where they are very welcoming, warm. Our bus driver, big up our bus driver, who has been nothing but the absolute best. He opens the door for us. He treats us like the queens.
He asked us how was it our day was, if we slept.
Activity, how was our sleep?
I hope he's not married. If he is, he's a catch.
Okay.
If he's not, lady. But yes, I must say that the people are very warm. They embody exactly what it means to be Caribbean. And I just want to thank also Kiana for being so hospitable herself. She is doing an amazing job. She really is. And she is a fun personality to be around. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, I want to go next. You wanna? I'm tired. I'm sorry. I'm so tired of being.
Oh, okay, what's next? Who wants to take a shot at this?
I will go next. I'm so sorry. Okay. So I just like to piggyback off of what Shania said. I mean, the people are amazing. Big up Auntie Debbie. And I mean, yeah, it's exactly similar to home. I mean, persons are eager to help you everywhere you go. Persons have a smile on their face. You just feel at home. You don't feel like you come into a strange land.
Yes.
And I mean, it really shows the unity that we do have and the love that we do have in the Caribbean for each other. It's extremely beautiful. It's the rain in the morning. Even the persons might be like, oh, it's raining every day. It's really beautiful how it falls on the mountains when we look outside. It's extremely beautiful. Definitely the nature island.
Okay.
It really is.
Live up to that name.
Yes.
Definitely live up to that name.
I must say for me, besides the very long ride to the accommodation, I must say, outside of that, Dominica is actually a beautiful place. It does remind me of home, especially nature-wise, because I am a nature lover myself. And I must say the most captivating thing for me was driving and looking out in the ocean, especially when the sun sets.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's that feeling when even when you have nerves, you just look out and everything just calms you right down. And I must say that yes, this is my first time, but this will definitely not be my last.
I love this.
So Kiana, I hope you have
I
a
have
little
space.
space.
I have space.
Yeah.
I have
Okay, no
space.
problem.
That's the fun about regional pageants. You bond and you get connections. So I have
Free
space.
accommodation.
That's it. I love that. Free transportation.
I like that. You
The
said that on air.
hospitality is A1.
I think exploring the islands makes you appreciate being a Caribbean person, especially now, especially being Miss OECS. I've had the chance to explore Antigua's culture, dive deeper into St. Lucia's culture, explore St. Vincent's culture, Dominica, more times than I expected, and I'm so excited to explore Montserrat's culture as well.
Yeah.
So, being Miss OECS gives you the opportunity to just dive deeper into everybody's culture and the people and everything that the islands have to offer, and I think that's the opportunity I'm most grateful for in this reign. So, yeah.
That's what we have been saying from the onset, from the get-go.
Yes.
You know,
I do
pageant
have a
like
question.
this. Yeah, go ahead.
I do have a question for the Dominicans. What is mountain chicken?
Right?
It's a frog.
It's
Not
frog.
these people tried to make me
No,
eat
it's frog.
Miss Dominica, you have to get some lessons, eh? Miss Dominica, so here's a job for you.
You actually catch it? You catch them?
Yes, so
I beg your pardon?
They're big.
they're big and they're very loud.
Chicken.
Grilled or fried?
Okay, so
Yes, they do. They crow. Yeah.
so here's an exercise for you with Miss Dominica
Yes.
later tonight. She'll
We'll
tell
go
you more
catch
about
mountain
mountain
chickens.
chicken.
Okay,
Yes.
so the mountain chicken was once our national dish.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was a joke.
Oh no, it's true. It's true, and due to their near extinction, I would say we had to kind of cut back on them in order to preserve them. So mountain chicken is in fact a species of frog. You would have heard what you all would have believed to be myths, that it's not. It is, and it is a very big frog. And it croaks very loudly. So we have several national trails that allow you to hike through our mountains, and you would be able to experience these general frogs. You won't necessarily find them out on the streets. You won't necessarily find them in your near bushes, but
You have to go looking for them.
but you won't have to go looking far.
At
And
least they're better than
yes.
agoutis.
And fun fact,
We also eat agoutis. What's wrong with an agouti?
You have agoutis too?
But let's say it in a dumb an agouti.
Agouti.
I didn't know you guys had agoutis.
Yes,
too.
and
See how
mango.
mountain chicken and agouti have
Yeah.
taken over the
Yeah.
the discussion right now. But ladies, it was really a pleasure. It was really a pleasure, just sitting with you and having this discussion. Not an interview, we're just discussing. And I really love this. And as I was saying earlier, that's what we were talking of from the onset. How a pageant like this, embodies, can really create that opportunity for us to be closer together as OECS people and the wider Caribbean as well. There are some things that unify us as Caribbean
Yes.
people, like
Yes,
cricket,
quite a
cricket,
few.
calypso, culture, soca, and so many bouillon. But when lovely ladies from the Caribbean can converge, in one area, I mean, this is just, big.
Fire.
And I really, really, thank you for taking that time to come and speak with us and being so jovial about it and relaxed. Did I make you all feel relaxed?
Yes,
Okay.
I think being here
That was the
together
plan.
made us more relaxed as
Yeah,
well.
yes.
Yes, that was the plan. But let me thank you. I wish all of you all the best. I mean,
Thank you.
the mere
Thanks for
fact
having
that
us.
you're
Thank you for
taking
having
part
us.
in this, you're already a winner.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Look at
Thank
this
you.
as you are winners for the Caribbean. Caribbean queens, empresses and all of that. So go forth and just enjoy your night on stage and just perform to the best of your ability and don't get daunted by the task. It is already a difficult journey, in terms of putting things together. But when you reach there on that stage that night, just go with it and enjoy it. And just enjoy it. Thank you. I like that camaraderie among you all and keep it up.
Thank
Thank you for having us.
us.
that's where we come to the end. And of course, we also had Firelander, lovely ladies. Just give your names again. Just give your names so we can get the proper pronunciation of your names, and just see where you are from, and then we will wrap. We'll call it a wrap.
And we start with none other than contestant number 1, Miss Shania, like Shania Twain, Miss Shania Samuel, hailing from the beautiful Isle of 365 beaches, Antigua and Barbuda.
Followed by contestant number 2, Miss Kiana Dyer, representing the hosting island, Dominica.
Third on the lineup, Miss Tamikwa de Turville, proudly representing the gem of the Caribbean, St. Lucia.
Marissa Bazzi, representing the Emerald Isle of the Caribbean, Montserrat.
And last, certainly not least, I am Leisha Beach, contestant number 5, representing the gem of the Antilles, St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
And the reigning Miss OECS, who will give up her title. Yes. But once a queen, always a queen.
Well, my name is Clemarissa Smart, and I am Miss OECS 2024. Can't wait to crown Miss OECS 2025.
Thanks, ladies. All the best.
Thank
you.
And that's where we come to the end of this journey to the throne, road to the throne, as we look at this big pageant that comes up in Dominica, the OECS pageants. Stick around and listen to DBS, of course. So all of you can just say bye together, say something to end officially. Let's go.
Bye!
Caribbean beauties.
We gotta